Is Wednesday, February 15th, 2017, and we're looking at the latest fresh steaming pile of fair porn from WSO Steve Olson and Wayne Steiger. In this latest video, WSO February 14th, most convincing evidence of Planet X Nibiru Wormwood ever. Well, that's quite a statement, isn't it? So we better get right into it and have a listen to the video.
Hi everybody, it's the Steiger Olson Report with Wayne Steiger and Steve Olson. Hello Wayne.
Hello Steve.
Can't get enough of this marathon key footage, can you?
I cannot, and actually I am the one pushing this, so for the record, I'm the one that am going to make this statement. Steve can make his own. But Steve, I believe what we have here is, in my estimation, the most compelling evidence that something is happening to our sun and subsequently our solar system.
All right, Wayne, we'll present your evidence.
All right. I have stills of this, but for the record, so everyone knows what's happened here, I'm going to show you. What I have done, so that you can see, is here I've slowed the anti-flickering, all motion, and spatial blur. I've come over here, I'm in the negative colors, and I've gone over here and in turn hit the sharpen. So you can now see, you can see where my gamma is set, my saturation, my contrast, brightness, and hue. You can see where my sigma is as well, so that everyone now knows what I'm looking at. For the record, what this camera is picking up, as all cameras do, in this particular filter, it is picking up heat. You understand, Steve? Heat. And the density of our colors are the heat signatures. All right? So the sun, obviously, is extremely dense, right? And
right. That's why it's really black in this filter, because it's the hottest thing up there.
It is. Now, I am saying that this is not a lens flare, nor is this. In fact, I found this video compelling on several fronts. Number one, what we have seen in so many pictures around the world is not the lens flare, but it is in fact coming off this object right here. Let's watch. Now, very important that you saw that those clouds were in front of the sun, right? It's the way it should be. Stop right there. These clouds are in front of this. These clouds are in front of this. These clouds are in front of this. And what's so interesting is that look at what's happened with that same little object. But it gets better, Steve.
Yeah, the lens flare didn't go away when the sun got covered.
Yeah, and so what happened here, again, is we talk about heat. This is where the clouds are. People don't realize that clouds are cool, and they'll show up on the camera as well.
I'll just pause that there and bring it back. Remember they pointed out claiming that this was showing heat and that the black was showing the heat? Well, hello, our clouds must be glowing hot because they're all black. Anyway, let's cut to the chase and let's look at what we're actually looking at here without all the fancy filters and all the nonsense that these two clowns are trying to lay on so thickly here. Let's look at the original video. Now, we're actually going to a different date because this one is February 12th. And the only one that's available right now is February 14th. So let's watch the video without all the filters and take a look at what we're seeing. So this is February 14th, and let me play that again. And you can see this great big white whatever it is in the sky. So let's look at this in VLC, and I can pause the video and step through. We can see that the first visible frame is at 8:58 AM, or just before 9 AM. Now I've slowed this down, and as we watch we can see that the sun on the right there is getting higher in the sky. And by the time we get to the end of the video, it is approximately 4 PM. Let's just pause that when we get to the end. Okay, so 127, let me step this forward, 337, and a few more frames. We can see that it is 4:16 PM. So from 9 AM to 4:16 PM, that is 7¼ hours. And how long does the Earth take to rotate once? 24 hours. So the Earth has rotated just over 1/3 of a rotation in that time, which is of course why we see the Sun crossing the sky. And in that time of 7 hours of rotation, the Earth turning 1/3 of rotation, our object remains in exactly the same place. Obviously this is not a real object in the sky. If it was, it would cross the sky just like the Sun appears to cross the sky. Now anybody that knows basic astronomy knows that the Sun is not actually crossing the sky from east to west. It is a product of the Earth rotating from west to east, giving the illusion that the Sun is crossing the sky from east to west. Same with the stars and the planets and the moon. So it is impossible for an object in space to remain in exactly the same place without crossing the sky as the Earth rotates. So having said that, what could this object possibly be? This object that remains in exactly the same place even though the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour, 360 degrees per 24 hours. What could this possibly be? Well, when we see this dark patch in the image after the Sun has gone out of view, it becomes pretty obvious that the camera dome, the protective housing, has some sort of damage or maybe something on the dome which has been illuminated whenever the Sun crosses. And I would put my money on saying that you can check this camera on any date and you will see the same thing. Now that's unless of course there is something stuck on the dome and they actually clean it off, but the fact remains is that this object remains in exactly the same place even though the Earth is rotating at 15 degrees per hour once every 24 hours. This object remains in exactly the same place. And when the Sun is shining on it, it's bright white, and when the Sun is not shining on it, it's greyed out as we see here. And that would be an effect of the focus of the camera, because the camera is focused on the foreground, not what is on the camera dome itself. So much for the quote most convincing evidence of Planet X/Nibiru/Wormwood EVER. These clowns are laughing in the faces of their subscribers. They're dishing out this crap for views, and they're making money from their views. And the more outrageous the claims they make, it seems the more views they get and the more money they make. And this is why you hear Steve Olson laughing in his videos, because he is laughing at you. If you buy this nonsense, he is laughing at you. Thank you for visiting my channel. Please be sure to subscribe. For further discussion, check out my Facebook discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X or VORTEX. You'll find a link in the description area. If you'd like to support my work, you'll find a PayPal link on the About tab of my channel. Your support will be most appreciated. Thank you for watching. Hello YouTube, this is Dazza the Cameraman. Today is Wednesday, February 15th, 2017, and we're looking at the latest, fresh, steaming pile of fair porn from WSO Steve Olson and Wayne Steiger. In this latest video, WSO February 14th, most convincing evidence of Planet X, Nibiru, Wormwood EVER. Well, that's quite a statement, isn't it? So we better get right into it and have a listen to the video.
Hi, everybody. It's the Steiger Olson Report with Wayne Steiger and Steve Olson. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, Steve.
Can't get enough of this marathon key footage, can you?
I cannot, and actually, I am the one pushing this. So, for the record, I'm the one that am going to make this statement. Steve can make his own. But, Steve, I believe what we have here is, in my estimation, the most compelling evidence that something is happening to our sun and subsequently our solar system.
All right, Wayne, we'll present your evidence.
All right.